So it appears that Nintendo Switch 2 is expected to somehow outsell the Nintendo Switch. Now, this doesn't mean it's not going to be extremely hard to get pre-orders in, and I'll give you just some basic pre-order tips, especially if you're pre-ordering online. But besides that, and going over how the heck the expectations are that Nintendo Switch 2 will outsell Nintendo Switch, I want to go over a couple of actual news stories here from Nintendo. Well, one of them from Nintendo. The other one's actually from a competitor company, but is worth mentioning because, you know, maybe it impacts Nintendo Switch 2 this year, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But you know what doesn't have to get impacted? Your ability to win a Nintendo Switch 2. That's right, we're giving away a Nintendo Switch 2, and you can go ahead and enter to win through the link down in the description or in the pinned comment. I wish all of you guys luck, and let's go ahead and dive right into our first piece of news because there's a brand new game launching next month for Nintendo Switch 2. It is a port from the Wii U, but it is one that has had some additional content added in. Of course, we're talking about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and, well, there's an event going on to help market it. That event is, hey, a crossover with the Tetris 99. That's right. They do this with a lot of their biggest games they have coming out. So apart from this, Nintendo will be celebrating Wii U titles return with a brand new Tetris 99 Maximus Cup kicking off later this week on March 14th and running through March 18th. This includes a special theme you can unlock during the event if you collect 100 points. Now, obviously, this comes right after they did an event for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and then they did one last year for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I really love that they do this Tetris 99 crossover stuff. I think it's really cool. Again, not a huge deal, but just extra marketing for a game. Now, speaking of extra marketing, well, there's a new rumor out there about a competitor for Nintendo Switch 2. That competitor coming from Xbox, of all companies. However, is it really a competitor? Well, let's look at the news. This is actually posted on Nintendo Life because of how big of a deal it is. Xbox is expected to join Switch 2 with a new handheld later this year. So, a new exclusive for Windows Central claims Microsoft is partnering with another company to deliver a PC gaming OEM, think Asus, Lenovo, MSI, Razer, etc., something similar to Lenovo's SteamOS partnership with Valve. This product, codenamed Keenan, is that Keenan and Kel over there? Anyways, is expected to look unmistakably Xbox, be more PC oriented, and will apparently come complete with an Xbox official guide button and Xbox design sensibilities. It would run on Windows and put the Microsoft Store and PC Game Pass at the forefront of the device with the ability to install other programs like Steam. This same exclusive also notes how this is just a warm-up for Microsoft, further claiming Xbox will release its own dedicated gaming handheld at some point in 2027. Microsoft has already confirmed plans for a new console system and handheld, so we'll let you know if we hear any significant updates. Keep in mind, this latest update is a rumor, and Microsoft hasn't made any announcements about releasing a new handheld device this year. Xbox has already mixed up its strategy, yada, yada, yada. So here's the thing. Obviously, when we're talking about Microsoft in the handheld space, this is like the PC space, specifically targeting PC gamers. I think it's good to have competition there. SteamOS is trying to expand outside of Valve's Steam Deck, hence the partnership that it had in there with Lenovo. And now Microsoft probably wants to make a much more user-friendly version of Windows for handheld gaming that obviously could be maybe even better than SteamOS. And I only say that because, hey, SteamOS kind of limits you to just games you can play on Steam. But if you have an actual real nice mobile handheld version of Windows that really works well in a gaming handheld, hey, you could have Steam, you could have obviously like Battle.net, the Epic Game Store, and all these other places as well as obviously at the forefront, Microsoft's own store and obviously PC Game Pass. So I do think that this could be really, really good for the PC gaming space. I don't really think it's that much competition for Nintendo Switch 2. Again, we're still dealing with PC gaming, which is a really huge market, but the PC handheld gaming space is still pretty niche. That being said, a new handheld in 2027, that's a dedicated Xbox handheld. That's the one to pay attention to if you're a Nintendo owner, just in case Microsoft is actually trying to enter this hybrid space that Nintendo currently dominates. So we'll have to wait and see if anything comes of it, but I do think it was at least worth mentioning to bring up because, hey, we do like to pay attention to the whole industry around here, and this could potentially have an impact on future sales of Nintendo platforms. Now, we're going to get into a story about Nintendo Switch 2 and how it's likely going to outsell Nintendo Switch, at least in the first calendar year. I'm going to head on over to Nintendo Life again. Shout out to them for all these stories. And it says analysts expect Switch 2 to sell like hotcakes in its first quarter, preempting a battle with the PlayStation 6, which, guys, the PlayStation 6 probably still isn't out for like 2-3 years, but you know what? Obviously, that's the generation Switch 2 will be part of. Nintendo Switch is part of the current generation, which is PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series. Obviously, that means Switch 2 would be part of the next generation. Anyways, as we get over here and scroll down, it says, as it enters its ninth year, it is officially in its ninth year, it's fair to say that Nintendo Switch has been quite the sales hit. Like 150 million units, third best-selling console of all time kind of hit. Previously heard an analyst make the low-hanging fruit prediction that Switch 2's sales numbers might not live up to that of its predecessor, but that doesn't mean that it won't come out of the gates at a full-on sprint. At least that's what Toyo Securities analyst Hideki Yasuda is expecting. In a recent blog post on the Japanese GameIndustry.biz website, Yasuda stated that he expects the Switch 2 to shift an impressive 6 million units in the first quarter, the second quarter of fiscal year 2025-2026, assuming the console lands on a July release. This is, according to Yasuda, would be an incredible number and could completely shatter the widespread industry superstition that game consoles must release during the year-end sales season, which I said this before and I'll say this again. Nintendo Switch launched in March and it sold out, but it didn't sell 6 million. I want to be very clear about that. So this is holiday sales level numbers. That would be impressive. As we look here, it's worth bearing in mind that production of the PS5 was assumed to have begun 5 months before its release. And that went on to sell 4.5 million units in its first quarter, which is the current record for a brand new system coming out and selling. Now, for Switch 1, it sold 2.74 million units to cap off its first quarter beginning in March. Now, again, that is notable because, as I said, Nintendo Switch did not sell 6 million units in its first quarter. So they're projecting it outselling the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 4's first quarter. They're projecting to outsell the Nintendo Switch's first quarter. Now, we've seen other industry analysts predict things like 19 million sales in the first 12 months, 24 million sales in the first 12 months. Either one of those numbers would also be records. So let's just say that while we don't obviously know if overall Switch 2 is going to outsell the 150 million so far that Nintendo Switch has sold, what we can say is analysts are very confident that it's going to shoot out the gate faster than any platform in gaming history. And I want to put this in perspective. They're projecting, Nintendo Switch 2 to sell 6 million in its first 3 months on the market. The handheld PC gaming space has sold just under 6 million the last 4 years combined. I want to add perspective on just how much that handheld PC gaming market really doesn't matter that much for what Nintendo's doing. Now, again, these are projected sales rather than actual sales. And look, to hit those projections, pre-orders are going to be a big deal. We don't know how Nintendo's going to handle pre-orders, but we do know that buying systems and pre-ordering them at various retail outlets is usually a thing. And while obviously in-person pre-orders, I feel, are the best way to do it, that's not available for everyone. And even me, I'm trying to get my hands on 5 of these things for launch. So that being said, some of my orders are inevitably going to be online. So I just wanted to give some quick tips. These are just really basic tips for online pre-ordering. Because again, when you pre-order online, no matter what precautions Nintendo takes, there's going to be bots. So all of the retailers that you don't mind buying from, whether it's Walmart, Best Buy, Target, Amazon, yada, yada, wherever outlets you don't mind buying a system from or pre-ordering from, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. One, make sure you have signed up for an account on each of those websites. Make sure that account is up to date with your current shipping information, your phone number, etc. And this is the one that some people always don't do. Make sure that you have a current card already entered and saved on these websites that you plan to spend the money to pre-order a Switch 2 from. That's the one that some people forget to do, and then you're entering card information at checkout, and before you know it, before you even check out, the damn thing is already sold out. So this is just a general tip. This won't just help with pre-orders. This will help with restocks as well, which might sell out fairly quickly. So I'm just giving you this tip right now. Obviously, competing with bots, competing with millions of people trying to get the thing, it's always going to be a struggle, but give yourself that extra leg up over people who aren't paying attention to videos like this and just think, hey, when they said pre-orders begin on April 2nd or April 3rd, I think I could just willy-nilly go to the website and buy the damn thing. But, I don't have my account set up. I don't have my card ready to go. My shipping information changed. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it does make a big difference in getting through that line. Because I'll tell you what, the bots, they will have all of that sorted out. They'll have the accounts ready, the money ready, everything ready, right? They're just going to go boom, boom, boom and be done. You want to be able to do that as an individual. So just a little tip here for you to pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2. If you want more tips and more expert advice, obviously I encourage you to go check out channels such as Jake Randall, who is a pre-order extraordinaire. And there's other ones like him out there, other Twitter and X accounts as well you can follow. You just got to kind of look for them. There's a bunch of them. There's restock things. There's also websites where you can actually get stock updates for when restocks happen. So there's a lot of stuff. I'll link to some of that down below to help you guys out. Anyways, I am Nathaniel RoboJams from Nintendo Prime. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Whew, it's been a fun one. And you know what, folks? I hope to catch all of you guys tonight on the Nintendo Bite podcast, baby. We're back tonight. We have a new special guest who's never been on before, so that's exciting. And we got a lot to talk about, including a retrospective, Switch 2, a little bit of a Nintendo, kind of a sad story, but we'll save it. It's like a bittersweet one, I guess. Catch you guys in the next video.